Give you some examples. So here's your basic texture is something like, you know, something like that, right? You had something like that, which was one aspect. And then you had the bass line. Now you could turn up before you play the bass line. Right? Just turning it up to make it a little more prevalent, potentially. Now, I'm going to show you this volume pedal swell I was talking about. So, again, if I'm going to do a volume pedal swell, I'm going to turn up, and then I'm going to turn on the delay. I'm going to turn it up, the delay pretty loud. The length isn't that important. Turn it up loud, and not too long of a feedback. But then what's going to happen, I put my volume pedal all the way down, strum, boom, right? So you have the volume pedal at 0, you pluck, then you immediately swell up. So let me see if I just add some of these on here, see how you like this. That's kind of nice, right? Now, as far as the pizzicato textures that I was referencing also, and by the way, the more of these textures you add in, the more it's going to kind of naturally consolidate your groove. I think it'll feel better. The more elements, the more human and tight it's going to feel. Because, I mean, you know, it's always a struggle to make it super tight, especially if you just have 1 or 2 parts. You add that 3rd, 4th, 5th, it starts to just gel. I don't know, that's what I've noticed. So some pizzicato textures, for example. I'm not gonna record yet, let's just see. So here I'm striking the string, and just kind of getting this wash. If I actually record myself doing it with the overdub, then you can create this little texture. Now, the other thing I was saying was, like, if you wanted to do some very subtle percussionistic things, I mean, personally, I would be super careful about it, and I would dial back the volume. I mean, you can do that with your volume pedal, or you can do it just by turning your volume down. And so, maybe that feels okay to me, so I'm going to overdub. Ah, that was too loud. Ah. Maybe a different, like a swipe. Just some little subtle things like that. Those are little things you could add if you wanted to. You definitely don't need to. I mean, and if you were in a live performance situation, you may not feel that you have the luxury to be able to add all that stuff at the beginning, because you don't want to take the audience's time too much, you know, where you're just going over the form a bunch of times. So what I would do for those extra things is I would add it later, assuming it's a live performance that starts from the beginning of the loop and you have to build it up, right? But if you're creating a loop that's finished, then you could do all this stuff prior to playing against that loop. But if I was doing it live, I wouldn't take all that time in the beginning. I would add some of those little textures later on when I have a little space.